What's up? My name is Devin, also go by Infinite or Pride by Infinite, and today I have a 90s inspired. You know what? Keep it in the intro because I need to hold myself accountable. I be messing up too many times when I be talking. I need to get it right. So I'm gonna say it one more time, and that's gonna be the last time I'm gonna say it, whether if it's right or wrong. And today we have. And today we have a 90s R&B inspired beat specifically for Summer Walker. Now, two quick shout outs before we do get into this beat. One, shout out Miyu Beats. Boom. Key, please put a picture right here. He actually made a tutorial on how to make these type of beats, and I was just like, dude, everything finally clicked. Like I understood it after I watched that video, so please go check him out. And then also shout out to Tavares Jordan because he actually made the beat for Heart of a Woman by Summer Walker. And I've just been listening to that beat nonstop. I think the mix is incredible on it. I ain't gonna lie, I've been delaying this video because I'm trying to get the mix at least somewhat close to what Tavares did, bro. Enough yapping. Let's get into the video, bro. Now we're just gonna get into the VST. That is basically the secret to making these types of beats. It is the JV 1080. Now, can you make these types of beats without this VST? Absolutely. Will this VST give you an easier time for making these types of beats? Absolutely too. Absolutely the remix. But like once I started using this VST, it just made things a lot easier. You feel me? Especially with the E-pianos that they have. So this is the first preset that we got for this. Basically, when it comes to the pianos, the Rhodes, whatever you're trying to use, try to get something that sounds kind of glassy like this. Because that will instantly give you the vibe that you're looking for when it comes to these style beats. And when it comes to chords, I didn't do anything too different from what I normally do. We just have like a regular boom, 2, 3, 4, 5, minor ninth chord, and then we go into it having it pitched up by 5. And then I actually did a diminished chord right here, which is something that I usually never do in my beats, but I always hear people say that R&B uses a lot of diminished chords, so I'm like, let me see what's up with it, bro. Now, to make a diminished chord, there's like a rule, like a code and everything like that. I don't really know it like that for real. So what I did, I went to this little button right here, and then you can click on diminished. Boom. So when you click right here on the piano roll, it'll make a diminished chord for you. Then after that, I just kept on adding notes until it sounded good to me. Did that, and then boom. Now when it comes to effects, all I did was just put on some Valhalla Vintage Verb, and then I put on some EQ, cutting out the low end. After that, the JV 1080 once again. We have the shifted glass preset, and I put down the same exact chords. This is just like a little light pad to kind of like make everything full and air and like that. Blah, 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 blah. You feel me? Make it more blah, blah, blah. Super quiet. But it just adds a cool little vibe. And then the bells, bro, when it came to like bells for these types of beats, I felt like I always had a hard time trying to find them. So I'm glad that like I really dove into this VST more because it was super easy. The very first bell preset that you get is the one that I use, the D50 stack. And with this, there wasn't any type of rhyme or reason on why I made the melody like this. I really just had the chords loop over, and I just tried to like sound something out that I felt like was cool. And that's where I put down the bells. And then for the effects, just some reverb right here and some delay. I'm noticing I got a lot of purple. Lights purple, VST's purple, my drink purple. I got a whole lot of purple shit going on, brother. And then next, I'm sure what a lot of people are wondering is the lead. So it's actually an Omnisphere lead. It's called the Authentic Triangle lead. I've used it a million times, but I did kind of mess with it a little bit. So it's a little bit more accompanied to this style. You feel me? I took a pause because I had to get the vocabulary right. With this, you have the A section and the B section on, which is playing like a sine lead, and it's also playing a triangle lead, and it usually sounds something like this. When it comes to these like 90s style R&B beats, I know they use a lot of sine leads. So since like one section was a sine, one section was a triangle, I just turned off the triangle, and then I changed the settings for the sine lead. I forgot exactly what I did, but if you just screenshot this, you can just copy and make sure all the knobs and sliders are where they're supposed to be. So when you turn off that triangle, it sounds like this. Kind of just makes it a little bit less sharp. And then for effects on that one, I just got this EQ right here, cutting out the low end. I don't think there's any low end playing, so I think that's kind of unnecessary, but you know what? I was messing with this mix a lot. Valhalla Vintage Verb, delay. I like reverb, I like delay. You feel me? So I be throwing it on everything. Then the second lead is actually just a sine lead. One of my favorite sine leads is Impurity, just the simple sine preset. Go right here to edit. You take this little envelope knob, you slide it to the right a little bit. It's usually like right here, and the reason why you slide it is because see how it kind of has that clicking sound? So we just take this, we drag it to the right a little bit so it gets rid of it. Only reverb on this one. I didn't feel like it needed delay. Then I got some strings out of the JV 1080, got the warm strings preset, and this is really just kind of like following the chord progression for the most part. Isn't? Or am I just making shit up? I guess I'm just making shit up. I don't know. I just put down notes that I thought sounded cool. Super quiet, but it just adds a vibe to everything. And then no effects on that one. I just turned it down a lot. All right, and then the third and final lead, the mid saw lead from Xenology. Any effects on this? We got some reverb, that's about it. I tried putting a flanger on it, didn't need it. And then once again, also very simple, just kind of there for ear candy. And then with all of the melodies, this is what it sounds like. Now let's get into them drums real quick. Now to get that real 90s type of flavor, you got to use like the 808 sounds. There's no real way of going around it. Just type in 808 snare, the Foley Essentials drum kit. Shout out, bro. But when it came to the drums, I felt like the 808 snare by itself was kind of weak, and it wasn't really giving the texture or like the feel that I wanted from the snare. So I ended up going to Splice, and I got this Oliver snare right here. But I was like, okay, that's a little bit too much. So I ended up moving this knob right here and then this knob right here. So it sounded like this. So I was getting mostly just the tail and like a little bit of the snare, but it's just like, it's way less than what it originally was. And then I layered it together with the 808 snare, as opposed to just the 808 snare. You know what I mean? Like, it's great, but I just need something to beef it up a little bit. And you know what? Shout out Foley again, because I got the go-to kick from that kit. I didn't do any boosting, no editing, no effects. Oh, I lied. I made it mono, and I cut out some of the low end, some of the high end. This is what the kick sounds like. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? How much percent? I'm on 4% on this battery. We gotta hurry up. And then bass. Bass is super, super important. Went to Xenology, got the perk bass. Shout out Steppers, bro. I really got this preset from him when he was doing like the 2000 stuff. You feel me? And then after that, I just got some sound effects and a hi-hat, and that's it for the drums, man. And with that being said, oh wait, one more thing. I gotta talk about the master, because everybody always loves talking about the master. I had this soft clipper on. That's just on my default, but I probably should have took it off. But I threw on Ozone 10, and I did like the little AI mastering thing. I don't want to click on it because it'll redo everything. But basically, you click this, you play the beat, it'll listen to the beat, and it'll like automatically master it for you. It's not perfect, so you gotta tweak it sometimes. Like for instance, I boosted the high end more, took the low end down a little bit, and I went to the maximizer, which is basically making it louder. I think it's compressing it too. I don't really know how this works, if I'm being honest. And I messed with this knob right here until it got as loud as I wanted it to be. And with that being said, here's the final beat. by the way, if you see this right here, it's because I threw a Gunna vocal on top and it goes crazy. I'll put it on my second channel. First link in the description. Peace, y'all.